It's Morning Joe. You know, right now, the Republicans are having a fields day. They're, you know, the Norfolk Southern has had several derailments already this week. Somehow, they want to put the blame of these derailments on the administration. And, you know, people are not actually seeing the bait and switch. We should not be talking about government failing here, folks. We should be talking about a greedy private sector not investing in its own hardware, in its own capital to keep us safe. That is the discussion, not government. The discussion is a private sector failing. These derailments are not a result of the government. They are the results of a private sector who wants to keep the government away. To somehow change the discussion to make it seem like Buttigieg or Biden or the director of the NTSB or any one of these guys have any responsibility here other than having not created the regulations that prevented this, because these private companies bribe their politicians to overturn break-in policies, chemical policies, and all of these. It's blasphemous that somehow Republicans now are attempting to blame the administration and Buttigieg and others. And you know what? When you see a Morning Joe comes out and says it, a former super conservative dude, kudos to Brother Joe. Check out how Brother Joe handles it here.
You know, it really is fascinating, though. You look at the Republicans, they're trying to blame Pete Buttigieg. They're trying to blame Joe Biden. It's like Marjorie Taylor Greene.
But they just
trying to blame Joe Biden for fentanyl deaths that tragically happened in 2020 when Donald Trump was still president. So they talk about Pete Buttigieg, and they take everybody's eye off of Norfolk Southern. They talk about Joe Biden, they take everybody's eye off of Norfolk Southern. They actually take everybody's eye off of who was responsible for this. And who was responsible for this? A corporation that gave a lot of money to Republicans who, you know, you look at Donald Trump and you look at the fact that Donald Trump deregulated. And when people look at regulations, why don't we just call it what it is? He ripped out basic safety measures.
Standards.
And basic safety standards. And so, of course, they don't want to talk about that. They don't want the press talking about all the safety standards that the Trump administration and Republicans tore out of the books. So they'll talk about Pete Buttigieg. Really? Seriously? A transportation secretary? You're blaming him?
He's the best person, though, because he can refute them and jump and push back better than anybody. So they end up shining a light on their own foibles. Right.
You know what? Mika Brzezinski gets it right. They picked the wrong person to really accuse, because as I showed yesterday, and maybe I should play it again, Pete Buttigieg is really, really good at his job. Pete Buttigieg is one of the best spokespersons for the Biden administration. And we spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead. Number one, subscribe to our channel. And number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.